Chapter 1 of A London Life. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Deborah Percy. A London Life by Henry James. Chapter 1. It was raining, apparently, but she didn't mind. She would put on stout shoes and walk over to Plash. She was restless and so fidgety that it was a pain. There were strange voices that frightened her. They threw out the ugliest intimations in the empty rooms at home. She would see old Mrs. Berrington, whom she liked because she was so simple, and old Lady Davenant, who was staying with her and who was interesting for reasons with which simplicity had nothing to do. Then she would come back to the children's tea. She liked even better the last half-hour in the schoolroom, with the bread and butter, the candles and the red fire, the little spasms of confidence of Miss Steet, the nursery governess, and the society of Scratch and Parson. Their nicknames would have made you think they were dogs, her small, magnificent nephews, whose flesh was so firm yet so soft, and their eyes so charming when they listened to stories. Plash was the dower house and about 1.5 miles through the park from Mellows. It was not raining after all, though it had been. There was only a greyness in the air, covering all the strong, rich green, and a pleasant, damp, earthy smell, and the walks were smooth and hard, so that the expedition was not arduous. The girl had been in England more than a year, but there were some satisfactions she had not got used to yet, nor ceased to enjoy, and one of these was the accessibility, the convenience of the country. Within the lodge gates, or without them, it seemed all alike a park. It was all so intensely property. The very name of Plash, which was quaint and old, had not lost its effect upon her, nor had it become indifferent to her that the place was a dower house, the little red-walled ivied asylum to which old Mrs. Berrington had retired when, on his father's death, her son came into the estates. Laura Wing thought very ill of the custom of the expropriation of the widow in the evening of her days, when honour and abundance should attend her more than ever, but her condemnation of this wrong forgot itself when so many of the consequences looked right, barring a little dampness, which was the fate sooner or later of most of her unfavourable judgments of English institutions. Iniquities in such a country somehow always made pictures, and there had been dower houses in the novels, mainly of fashionable life, on which her later childhood was fed. The iniquity did not as a general thing prevent these retreats from being occupied by old ladies with wonderful reminiscences and rare voices, whose reverses had not deprived them of a great deal of becoming hereditary lace. In the park, half-way, suddenly, Laura stopped, with a pain, a moral pang, that almost took away her breath. She looked at the misty glades and the dear old beeches, so familiar they were now and loved as much as if she owned them. They seemed in their unlighted December bareness conscious of all the trouble, and they made her conscious of all the change. A year ago she knew nothing, and now she knew almost everything, and the worst of her knowledge, or at least the worst of the fears she had raised upon it, had come to her in that beautiful place, where everything was so full of peace and purity, of the air of happy submission to immemorial law. The place was the same, but her eyes were different. They had seen such sad, bad things in so short a time. Yes, the time was short and everything was strange. Laura Wing was too uneasy
Sample complete. Ready to continue?